Working on best builds for Artanis. We are taking care of easy expos first. We are going to be doing a Archon Zealot build, and what's nice about Artanis is most of the initial buildings can just be done by changing your rally point. So at 15 supply, when you're making your about to make your 16th probe, change the rally point to your pylon field, and then we're going to go ahead and drop our gateway. Get this back out of work. Change the rally to a gas. Change the rally to another gas. Get that one. This one will go ahead and go to here. Drop that. Make sure you change your rally point back so you're not missing out on any extra. And then move it over to your Expo so that you can drop your orbital strike. You're up against Marines. As soon as you finish dropping those Spear of Adun charges, you should have that one done. We're at 17, so we don't have to worry about not having 14 at least here. We're going to go and change the rally point again so that we can drop a Cybernetics core. And now we're going to go ahead and build a Zealot and move over here to our rocks. You're going to use 2 charges, or 2 full sets of charges on the rocks here. That was my second one. As soon as this is done building that one, we're going to go ahead and get another Zealot. At the 30, which would be your 30th, or sorry, your 29th, about to make your 30th probe, you're going to change the rally point over to your expansion. And then at 30 supply here, we're going to go ahead and build our Nexus. We're not going to build any more probes until we go ahead and build this. As soon as that's down, we'll bring this guy back over here. Start building probes again. And then we'll build our Twilight Council. And I'll also show you the best way to set up. Now, I haven't had to worry about any of this, but you could easily use Spear of Adun. But I'll show you the best way to set up your pylon field so that you do not have to worry about building any more than one pylon. So now I'm at 21 supply here. I'm going to go ahead and change my rally point over here. So once I finish this next probe after this one, which should be about 35, we'll go ahead and change the rally point again so that we can... Oh, yeah, okay, good. Change the rally point again so that we can build our Templar Archives. Now this is the opportunity where now I'll go ahead and build a Forge. And then I'm going to power up a little bit more before I make my robotics facility, which is actually a pretty important thing. Because you want to make sure that you can get detection when you need it. As soon as this is done, you're going to go ahead and double build your gases in order to make sure that you have those done. And the first upgrade I always get for my Templars is always going to be the upgrade so that you can start off with maximum energy. And then I get Storm.
It seems the nearby Zenistones are
and then after that, I'll get the ability to make it so you can stack storms as well as heal your units when you cast Storm on top of them. Now again, I haven't had to worry about too much here, but I did have 2 Zealots. I could use things. I have Spear of Adun Energy. And I'm just going to continue to go ahead and power up. It's really the important thing here. Once I get to around 4 gateways, that's when I'll build my first
hybrid energy signature detected. Amon's servants walk amongst
Robo facility. And we're just again continuing to build probes as we need them.
Our defenses are proving effective. Soon the temple will be ready.
Let's do that.
Activating shields.
And again, we're continuing to power up. As soon as we finish up our upgrades out of these 2 is when we'll go ahead and swap one of the Chronos to a Forge. And I basically just like to fill up this whole area with gateways. And the best way to do it is like I'm showing now. You can do this all with one pylon. And again, my partner's doing a lot of work here, so I don't really have to do that, which is kind of nice for me showing off the build. But like right now, I think I'll just go ahead and stop at 10 gateways. You can easily add some stargates if you really want to have them, but not necessary. That's done. This is almost done, and we're just going to keep an eye on all of our upgrades to make sure that they're constantly being built. And we're pretty much set here on our powering up, and now we can just continue to build everything we want, keeping an eye on, again, all of my upgrades, making sure they're there.
The temple is under siege from a void thrasher.
I like to put my High Templar and Archons on their own little control group as well, so that I can micro them a little easier. And I always like, if I can,
Upgrade complete.
to go ahead and try to get as many charges out of my Archons, or sorry, High Templar, before I turn them into Archons. Go ahead and swap this over here, put some new guys. And like I said, now we're pretty much all set up. We don't have to worry about anything else except for finishing attack upgrades. Watch out, I don't want to get hit by those guys. Back. Both. Alright, so now I'm going to go and deal with my side. I'll go forward, and we are pretty much set up. Like I said, just watching out for my forge, making sure that has a chrono on it, and that'll help us finish up the rest of the upgrades. We go ahead and engineer. Again, trying our best to get as most out of all of our Archons as we can before we turn them into Archons themselves. Using using shields can be helpful, not absolutely necessary, at least early on. The one thing you should keep an eye out for is if you have Archons and High Templars on the same control group. The High Templar will have priority, and that will make it so if you want to use all of your storms, you might not be able to, as you will have issues here and there. Leave those guys there so we don't have to worry about that attack wave. It's going to eventually be coming from that side. But yeah, you're going to have to cycle through your Archons and High Templar in order to get all of the energy being used. So just keep that in mind. That's why I like to either do one or the other, or have one of them on their own control group. What's nice is you can always have a couple Archons or High Templars in different areas, so you don't have to necessarily be in the exact same spot all the time. That actually worked out well because I have vision, so I didn't have to worry about that. So now there will be another attack wave.
Our allies are under attack.
Go back.
Hybrid signature detected.
That, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Ready yourselves. Amon has let loose the hybrid.
The temple is halfway toward activation. Maintain our defenses, commanders.
And we're pretty much set up. Like I said, making sure that once I finish up my attack upgrades, I'll go and move on to the shield upgrades, because that really does help the Archons the most. And the High Templar, as is, you will get energy back a little quicker. So I've already cleared this side, he's already cleared that side. We're going to start working on the next area. But right now, I have this opportunity to build a bunch of stuff here for the next attack wave area. Go and move over here. This is going to be done real soon. Again, we've already got the next thing set up. Don't have any other upgrades to get here. And I like to go ahead and take this opportunity now to start building up forces in all the areas I need to have them, so that I can just kill things as they come out.
Expected outcome.
And this is just going to be a little bit more map awareness that helps you with this stuff like this.
Detecting enemy drop pods.
But it's actually not the hardest thing in the world to do, as long as you kind of know where you need to be. So I'm going to start moving out over here right now, and I have this force here ready to go to deal with anything that's coming this way. I don't want to just keep spamming zealots right now, because in the end that's really not going to help me, as ultimately I could easily max out on zealots and not really have the highest DPS army like I'd like.
Amon has summoned a void thrush. It will severely harm the temple for as long as it lives.
I'm just going to try my best to stay on top of things. See, I really badly want to drop zealots right here, but that's really not going to help me very much. Keeping this here. Leave this here for a little longer. And again, making sure we're getting upgrades for our shields after attack. We've already cleared everything. So now I can leave this stuff here. And always try to make sure that your zealots are in the front. A, so that you can replace them if you need to with more Archons.
Volatile sequences cannot study.
Move that down there.
Justice be done.
Should be...
By your will. Our allies are under attack. We are focused once more.
I mean, he's killing everything. He's got air units, so he can do that. That's fun stuff.
We shall endure.
And if you're unaware of when attack waves are going to be coming to different locations, you can always just have a couple zealots in locations to kind of spot for you. But just knowing the maps can help out a lot. Now, you can get a really high DPS out of just High Templar, but like I said, once they run out of energy, then the best thing you can do is just go ahead and change them into Archons.
We embrace the glory of battle. I am activating emergency shield. Hybrid detected. Marking location now. Dangerous life forms. Extermination advised. Our allies' base. Our allies are under attack.
I have this area, this force set up ready to go, so that'll be able to take care of whatever dies. And this is, again, pretty nice here, because I will be able to replace a lot of the units I have here. The zealots I lost will get replaced with Archons. Now I still need to have zealots. It's very important you do maintain zealots. Otherwise you don't really have anything to buffer. Drop these guys down here. Move these guys back here. Keep these ones over here. But this force here is going to need to worry about the drops.
Is bombarding the temple. You must end its assault.
It will eventually be happening.
Our allies are under attack.
Actually, there's no drops on this set.
Hybrid detected.
I love it.
Hybrid. Strike them down.
It's so nice having a good partner.
Slain.
Move these guys down
Our
here.
allies are under attack. Sharing Zerg regeneration. Healing in progress. Darkness.
These ones down here again, putting the zealots in the front. The next thing we're going to have to worry about will be the double thrashers, but I've got everything where I need it to be. We will have a couple attack waves coming from over here, but it's really not going to be that big of a deal.
Our allies are under attack. Shield overcharge online.
So the double thrashers should be coming soon. Just getting some splits preemptively. Got all these High Templars back here. I'm basically going to spam a bunch of storms and then turn them all into Archons. So I have something to buffer a little bit. Really not much else to say. Got the 2 different control groups. I'll have a Guardian Shell in just a second.
The temple's activation is nigh.
But yeah, this is not too bad at
It is
all.
almost time.
Defenses holding. Enemy will not succeed.
Multiple thrashers have emerged from the void.
Again, make sure that you're
Dispatch them
using
before they destroy the temple.
any sort of Mind Blast, or not Mind Blast. Go ahead and do Shield Overcharge.
Much potential observed. Exceeding expectation. We have slain
And let's go there. So go and resplit all my forces. I haven't lost anything. And that's because of Guardian Shell, as well as just being a pretty badass thing. And Shield Overcharge. Like, all of these things just create a great thing going for me. Like I said, not much else to worry about here. I'm going to go ahead and just take all of my Archons and High Templar and just put them on their own control groups. Die already? So, I'm just making sure that you...
I see. We must eliminate them quickly. Cassar de Templar.
We have another attack wave going to be coming from the bottom here eventually. Should be a triple attack wave. That's so awesome. Okay, so there's going to be one more attack wave coming from all 3 sides now. I'm going to go ahead and spam a bunch of Templar.
Cassar de Templar. Regeneration. My face is under fire.
And that's the end of it. GG. So that was it. Now, unfortunately, I think one of the... No, it must have been one of these guys. Must have been like one of the Liberators, so I got one shot off on the temple, but that's it. Really, again, not much to worry about. The early game, I did have a pretty awesome partner that was taking care of the early attack waves, but that's where a lot of orbital strikes would have come in handy.
Shield overcharge available.
But anyways, we were pretty much in the exact location we needed to be for everything. And if you can leave them as High Templar, you probably will get more out of it, as it does take 2 High Templar to make 1 Archon, thus basically decreasing the energy regeneration in half. That's pretty simple math there. But it also means that you can just aim with your army. It also means that air units become less of an issue that you don't have to micro to kill. But Archons, they die not super quick because they have such high shields, but the problem is they bump into each other a lot, and High Templars can do a lot more DPS if you get them on the right spot. Now, he had a lot of toxic nests, but you can see that you can be pretty much anywhere you need to be pretty darn quickly with Artanis if you have map awareness and you use your High Templar to the most that they can be used, because they can take care of entire attack waves really fast as long as you have Zealots tanking, holding units in place, and then your High Templar just spamming storms on top of enemies. Anyways, I'm Hunter AFI. Thanks so much for watching. Do hope you enjoyed.